Good afternoon, everyone. In previous video, we were discussing about chemicals and chemicals changes. Now, this time, we will discuss about chemical changes. What is the topic? Chemicals and chemicals changes. This is the 7th class. We are discussing subtopic is chemical changes. What is the chemical changes? Changes that involves the formation of new substances are called the chemical changes. Changes that involves new substances, changes that involves formation of new substances are called chemical changes. Changes that involve changes that involve formation of new substances are called chemical changes. Next, for example, burning of paper, curdling of milk, digestion of the food, cooking of the food, photosynthesis in plants. These are the example of chemical changes. Now we are taking one example and curdling of milk. Milk convert into the curd. This is the chemical changes. We will not get milk from the curd. So it is the irreversible change and it is the permanent change. We cannot get that after, for example, burning of paper. You burn it. After that, we are getting as light. We are not getting back paper from these substances. Okay, so this is the permanent change or it is the irreversible change. What are the characteristics of chemical changes? Chemical changes. Number one, there may be a change in color. There may be change in color. In the chemical changes, we get the product, and product may be changed in color. Second is evolution of a gas may be observed. In chemical changes, gas may be observed. Next, third is a precipitate is formed. What do you mean by the precipitate? Precipitate, the solid substances that is formed from a liquid, that is known as the precipitate. The solid substances that is formed from a liquid is called the precipitate. So the solid substance is formed during the chemical changes. Next is heat may be given out or absorbed. Here in this chemical changes, heat may be given out and or absorbed. So these are the characteristics of chemical changes. Number one, there may be a change in color. Second is evolution of a gas may be observed. Third is precipitate is formed. What is the precipitate? The solid substance that is formed from a liquid. Then heat may be given out or absorbed. Other changes we will discuss, chemical changes, that is the rusting of iron, browning of the fruits. Okay, should I rub this? Rusting of iron. Have you seen the rusting of iron? Have you seen what happens to iron objects that have been left out in the open for a few days or weeks? An orange brown materials called the rust is formed on the surface of the iron object. Have you seen when you left some iron object in open? After some time, what will happen? A brown, orange brown materials is deposited on the iron. That is brown substance is known as the rust. The rust is actually iron oxide. It reacts with iron, react with air and water to form the iron oxide. So rust is the iron oxide formed by the reaction of iron with atmospheric oxygen in the presence of moisture. The rusting of iron is therefore a chemical change. So what are the conditions for rusting of iron? There are the two things. One is oxygen is necessary, atmospheric oxygen, moisture is necessary, and iron object is necessary. So there are the two things, moisture and oxygen. Now iron plus moisture, water, then oxygen to form iron oxide. Why it is chemical change? Because we are not getting from iron oxide oxygen, water or iron again. So this is the irreversible change. That's why it is the chemical change. Clear? Second is preventing. How can we prevent the iron rust? How can we prevent the rust? Prevention of rusting. Prevention of rusting. Rusting can be prevented by coating the iron surface with oil, grease or paint. The layer prevents iron from coming in contact with air and moisture. Another method of preventing rusting is galvanization. What is the galvanization? The process of depositing a layer of zinc on iron. The layer of zinc on iron, this process is called the galvanization. I think you have seen the iron water pipes which are used to supply water at home are galvanized to prevent rusting. So how can we prevent the rusting? By applying grease, by applying paint, by applying oil or by galvanization. Browning of fruits and vegetable. Have you seen what happens to a slice of the apples if it is left exposed to the air? For some time it becomes brown in color. The browning of slice of apple is due to a substance that is present in apple that react with atmospheric oxygen. Other fruits and vegetables like brinjal, potato are exhibit same things. So this can be prevented by rubbing the lemon or we put cutting of the fruits and vegetable inside the water because it prevent the contact of the oxygen. So we can prevent browning fruits by the two methods. One is rubbing of lime on the surface of fruits and vegetable. Second is we cut the things and we pour the water, we submerge the water, we can put the water and potatoes and vegetables, they will inside the water, they will not brown.